Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Miss Ryder for anyone that's new here. I talk about all things motorbikes. Sometimes I occasionally do other content, but mostly we talk about motorbikes. Today is going to be Reddit motorbike horror stories. Let's get on with it. Okay, so the first story we're going to talk about today is by Rugby J on Reddit, and their story is titled The Fraudster. So it says, I have several bike training horror stories, but I'll just lead with this one. It says, post CBT about a year, decided to do my DAS. Now I'm skint, but I love bikes and I knew I needed more than my 125cc, so I went to a local lot and had a face to face. Did a ride around a car park with an instructor so they could see I could totally ride before booking me on the course. £250 down to the owner lady, which was a lot of money to me then, booked 2 months ahead. Well, we are about 2 weeks away from the 3 day course, and I'd not heard anything from them on times/places, etc. So I called nothing. Reached out on their company Facebook, nothing. After several days of this, tracked down the owner on Facebook via her company's house filing, messaged directly. She replied she was a mess. Business had gone under, promised me my money back, but then went completely radio silent. Okay, so this is starting off already. I feel like the camera is not straight. I think it is now. I hope it is. Anyway, so we're starting off quite badly because, well, I mean, the fact that they let you do the ride around in your trainers is quite concerning because usually you have to wear like um protective boots. Wow, that might just be me, but every time I've done a test with a motorbike company, or not even a test, just training, they have required you to wear proper boots, even if it's like um I don't know, Doc Martens. I actually don't know if they accept that, but it has to be above ankle height, I'm pretty sure. And it has to be not steel toed. I don't think you're allowed to wear your work boots, but I might be wrong. But the fact that they let you do it in trainers is already a little bit concerning, but we'll continue on. I think also the fact that you have the CBT and they're asking you to do the assessment anyway is a bit odd, but they do make you do that. It really annoys me because, well, I had my CBT and I've been riding for 2 years, and I was like, well, if I can't ride, how have I been riding for 2 years? But I didn't end up having to do it. You only have to do it if you go with someone you didn't do the CBT with. So I did my big bike test with the people I did my CBT with, so I didn't have to do it again, luckily. Yeah, I think we can all see where this is going just from the fact that he said that they didn't reply, and that she said the business was going under. Um, if it was me, I feel like I'd try to track them down in person, but I don't know if that's possible because obviously they might not have like an actual training center. A lot of motorbike training people, they like rent out an area, but that's not actually like where they work from. So obviously, if it's hard to track down in person, then you can't. But obviously, you want to be able to trust the people that you're giving your money to. But these people obviously aren't. I think one of the things you got to do when you are going with a riding school is check the reviews, because I checked the reviews in my town and there was one that was like everyone went to. So I went to that one, and there was another one I checked the reviews on it and they were so terrible because apparently the instructors were like really rude and would get really annoyed if you did something wrong, and I'm like, bro, you're literally teaching them how to ride a bike, so they're obviously going to do stuff wrong. So I didn't go with them. But yeah, I think a big thing to do when you are deciding on which riding school to go with is to look at the reviews on every review site that you can find and see what the lowest reviews say, because a lot of companies can buy bots or something to review it for them and say it's good when it's not. So yeah, you got to be mindful of that. But then again, this looks like it's come out of nowhere, so I'm not blaming the guy. It looks like maybe their business has just gone under when he just before he's booked thing, or if they've let him book the test knowing that they're going under, that's just obviously that's fucked. Like that's just messed up. But if he's booked it and then they've gone under, then obviously can't be helped. Although you kind of know you're going under before you're going under. But anyway, we shall carry on with the story. So it says, next week I went to our local bike night and that's when I saw him. The instructor marched up to him with a big grin on my face. He said, "How's it going, mate?" And the instructor said, "Oh, yeah, good, mate, you." And he said, "Remember me?" And the instructor said, "Oh, you came to your direct access." The writer said that's when he and his wife, friend with him, earnestly and apologetically laid out everything that had happened. He'd been left in the lurch without last month's pay when the owner lady in the middle of the night had loaded a load of the off-road bikes gear from the shop up into a van like it was a break-in and just left. She skipped out on everything, rode off into some temporary sunset and left him looking for a job. The fuck? That's crazy. Like, why are you doing all that? I mean, if she owns everything, she could just be like, "Oh, I decided I want to shut down the company, so don't book anyone else in." And then you'll be like, "Okay." But it sounds like it's not the instructor's fault. It sounds like he didn't know or didn't have the contact details to let anyone know what's happened. Because I'm guessing he said he rang the owner lady, so I'm guessing she's got the contact details and this instructor doesn't. Um, so it doesn't sound like it's his fault. I don't really know what you're going to do in this situation, to be honest. It looking like you're not going to get your money back. But hopefully that's not the end of the story. Well, it's not the end of the story, but hopefully that's doesn't happen. Next part. So it says, well, I'd gone from about to hit the bloke to wanting to hug him in about 2 minutes. When I got back, I rang my bank and got put through to the fraud team. I was about 10 minutes into the conversation with a lovely woman at NatWest before she let out an audible yelp, which I hadn't expected from her professionalism to that point, and to my surprise actually went into detail with just how many flags the company had on it and how squarely fucked the owner was when she'd get caught up to. Unfortunately for me though, as I'd used my debit card, there was nothing I could do. So yeah, £250 kick in the teeth, but a lesson in when to use credit cards. So why was there no warning to anyone if there was loads of flags on the account? I'm just saying, like, if they knew that she was doing some sketchy shit, shouldn't they have warned anyone about that? And the fact that she was going under, but hopefully she gets caught up too. And hopefully she gets what she deserves, pretty much. Um, like I said, he didn't. It doesn't sound like he's gonna get his 250 quid back, which is really shit. But hopefully, this doesn't discourage him from getting a bike because a lot of riding schools are really good. The people I went with were really lovely, and they literally knew they were so encouraging that I actually felt really good about my riding. I don't know if that's like, I don't know. I feel like when you get complimented by bikers about your riding, it's like the best thing in the entire world. It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an explanation. No, I can't think of one. But if you know, you know. If a good motorbike rider, so a motorbike instructor, tells you that you're a good rider, then it literally puts you on top of the moon because it is a great feeling. But yeah, so hopefully this doesn't discourage the guy from getting motorbikes again because it is a shit lesson and it is a lot of money to lose. Although that is a lot cheaper than any other test I've ever seen, but that's still a lot of money to lose in the sense of that. But yeah, hopefully he can book it again with someone better. But this is just a good story to show you that you need to do your checks and make sure you know who you're going with. And I mean, you can't check their bank accounts, so this was, unless she has bad reviews online, this was pretty much unavoidable. But just a warning to let you know that you need to check the reviews instead of just like seeing a riding school online and be like, yeah, I'll book with them. Or ask, if you have any biker friends, ask your biker friends, because they will probably know some good riding schools that you could go with. But yeah, that's it for that one. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so the next one is by an account that isn't, it's been deleted, so it doesn't have a thing on it, but it's in the Reddit group called Motorized Bicycles. And the story says, I decided to forego riding my Honda Trail 90 that day and to take the Weed Eater bike out into the desert. About 7 miles down the road from where I lived, and then 5 miles into the middle of nowhere, I decided to jump a small hill and hit a ditch. I ended up bending my front rim into a V. I had to lift the front end and roll it to the road, hid it under the bushes, and then walked home in shame, asking the old man to give me a lift in the truck to pick it up. Then there's a time after that when I went back there. I rode on the dirt beside the road. A cop came up behind me and hit the sirens. I panicked and just kept riding for a few minutes. I finally just turned off the road and down a steep bank, just riding into the desert. I saw him stop and watch me for a while, and then I went behind some scrub brush and headed back home. So yeah, that's the first time I ran from the cops. By the way, he put in brackets slow speed chase. So that's pretty funny. The first one, I feel like I've heard a lot of stories like this one where people are riding bikes illegally and they crash, and obviously when you crash, a lot of people around you that you don't know will want to call the police or call an ambulance, and you don't want to do that because you are riding the bike without a license, without insurance, without all this shit. So if they come, then you're fucked. So I hope he didn't get hurt, because bending the front rim into a V is a pretty impressive thing to do to a bike. But it is a proper walk of shame when you have to walk home after. It's like having to ride after you've dropped your bike. I feel like you just ride quietly for a few miles trying to pretend that that didn't happen. It's a lot worse when there are other people around. So at least there was no one around when he did that, but then he had to go home and ask someone to go back to pick up the bike. So that is quite embarrassing. But the second time, that's just crazy because it literally says slow speed race, because he said it was a Weed Eater, which I'm assuming means it's just a very slow shit bike. And I get panicking because I'm guessing he's on the bike illegally and doesn't want to stop. But I have never in my life thought, when there was a police officer behind me, I've never thought to carry on riding. But then again, if you are able to go off road, it's a lot easier to run from the police. I would never even try because I'd manage to crash the bike. Also, I have a 650, so where am I gonna hide? But yeah, that one's quite funny. Found one the other day and I can't find it now. I thought I saved it, but I very clearly did not. Nope, that's not the right thing. That's the Wii thing. Okay, so I'm on another Reddit thread and it says, what are scary things that you have encountered on the motorbike? And the top one is other drivers. Full stop. That is so real. Like, honestly, being on a motorbike and being around cars, horror story in itself, because they just don't like motorbikes. And they will just veer into motorbikes like they won't kill them. It really baffles me when people do that. I've seen a lot of videos of people like lane splitting or overtaking people, and then those people deciding that they're going to swerve into the motorbike. I'm like, that's literally attempted murder. If you hit them and they come off, they are very likely to die. So I don't know what you're trying to achieve here. You just got to hurt ego and decide that you're going to attempt to murder someone. Right, okay. Okay, we got another one who also is a deleted account, so we cannot see who said it, but we're going to read it. I have not read through it already, so I don't know what it says. So, real life reaction, guys, although I'm a very reactionless person, so not reaction. But, anyways, splitting lanes through stop traffic on the freeway from Oakland to San Francisco. Passenger opens her door and takes me right over the back of the bike. Jacket's forearm pad saved me from a broken arm, minimal bike damage, but the car was destroyed, barely hanging by one hinge. Car door was destroyed, not the car, sorry. She said I wanted to get something out of the trunk and we were stopped. I was getting married in a week and was riding the BMW K75 my wife bought me as a wedding present. I wasn't supposed to be on it because she was worried about a crash ruining our honeymoon. Honey, first thing, I'm fine. What? Okay, that is horrendous and funny because the amount of people who actually are in traffic and open their door without looking, like actually stopped in a line of traffic and open the door without looking, is actually crazy to me. I don't know the different states and which ones are and aren't allowed to lane split, but in the UK, everywhere you can lane split. And there are plenty of people who in stop traffic just decide, oh, I'm gonna get out of the car right here. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Get back in your fucking car. Do not open that car door because they literally don't look. I'm like, bro, can you please not run me over right now? I'd really love to go and get my McDonald's. But I feel like the fact that he got in a motorbike accident doing exactly what his wife was worried about him doing is just the story of every husband and wife. Like, your wife tells you not to do something, you do it, and the consequences are exactly what she thought they'd be. So now he's got to go home and be like, you were right. Except he didn't get hurt, so the honeymoon wouldn't have been ruined, so technically she wasn't right, but still, he just crashed a brand new BMW K75, so that's going to hurt quite a lot. On the soul, not actually injured, but ruining a brand new bike, I genuinely think would be the worst thing to ever happen. I have never had a brand new bike straight from the dealership because I am terrified of breaking a brand new bike. So if I got one, I'd cover it in crash protection, like crash bars, crash bungs, bar ends, all of the stuff that I need to make sure that I don't scratch the bike at all. Because even if I get a tiny little scratch, it would make me cry because it's just my baby. I can't be hurting it. I'm really annoyed that I can't find the ones of the actual like creepy stories. Okay, this one's quite scary. It's quite short, and so it says, riding in Chicago at about 3 a.m. A van pulled up next to me at a stoplight. I noped out of there, but not before a guy grabbed a hold of my backpack. I dragged him along about 15 feet before he tripped. Scared the shit out of me. Would have been a real bad situation. Bro. If that happened to me, I'd be shitting my pants. Just saying. Like, that's actually crazy that people do that. It's like when the people tried to steal the cameras off the back of some influencers' cars. Like, they literally get out and try and grab it, and I'm like, bro, you know they can see you out the back window. If someone tried to grab my backpack while I was on the bike, I'd just be like, yeah, you can take the backpack, mate. You can take it. I don't want the backpack. You can take it. I would do the same thing. I'd ride off straight away. But I would be dropping that backpack as soon as I could because backpack is not worth my life. Unless it's got like really expensive shit in there. Like my Insta360 camera. You can't be stealing that. It's too much money. But I don't even know what I would do in that situation. I would probably try to ride away and hope that he didn't drag me off the bike in the process. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's enough motorbike horror stories for today. This is the first time I've done a video like this. I've done a Reddit one before, but not a motorbike Reddit one. So if you like this, then let me know down in the comments. If you would like to send in some Reddit stories or send in some of your own motorbike horror stories, I can link my Instagram or my email and you can send me your stories and I can react to them. Anyways, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.